Hey, Huckster here. This is sort of a response to the absence of value video toward Sister Sunshine and the Westboro Baptist Church for making videos about or protesting Dio's death, saying he's in hell. You said you're not really a Christian. And you know, there's so many young people out there that realize that the teachings of Christianity just can't possibly be from a God, especially the one and only God of Christianity, who teaches to love your enemies and forgive those who come against you, and love your neighbor as you love yourself, and on, that shows that this God has to be a loving, forgiving, just God. Now, as for myself, I know that hell does not exist, and I believe it's a form of terrorism, Christian terrorism, where Christianity, the modern Christianity, has hijacked the true Christianity of Jesus Christ, and they terrorize people from their very youth and implant these visions of a eternal torment of burning flames and torture in people's minds, and I believe a day will come when powers that be will stop these Christians through some kind of oppression, or you know, I've said this many times, where my mother's preacher, before she passed away, I heard him say in a sermon that he was going to be arrested and thrown in prison for his belief in God. I can't see a time coming when Christians are actually arrested and thrown in prison, but I think there will be laws passed that will, and it would have to come about through proven written words in the Bible that proves that there is not a hell. Christians today get about this much biblical learning, and now they're, you know, it's another thing I've said. The first things Christians do will talk to you about God, and then they'll talk to you through God, and then they'll talk to you as if they're God. And you know, you can just see it happening to these Christians. They become all holy, and as if something has come inside them, and they're speaking for God to you. And then they begin to speak as God to you. And they read the Bible as if it's speaking directly to them, and it's not. It was speaking directly to a people that was living at the time the Bible was written. A lot of examples in there that we can learn from, but the Bible was not written to us, it was written for us. But they say that Dio was a Satan worshiper, And Christians are the only group of people that believe in this Satan, as far as I know, and they believe that he is actually a supernatural being, a fallen angel, which, from my studies of the Bible, anybody that accuses an angel of things on the line of being demons and devils that fell from heaven, they're endangering themselves. They destroy themselves through their lack of knowledge. There's no angels in heaven that ever rebelled against God. I've said many times, if I had the money, I would get me a personalized license plate that said Lucifer on it. Not because I think I'm a devil or anything like that, but because the word was light bringer. In Isaiah, where the name Lucifer is used, it's talking of the king of Babylon, who wanted to be equal to God. He had all this power. He had conquered all these nations. He wanted to be as God. And it plainly tells us this about the king of Babylon, and he was a man. And he was brought down to the grave. And then there's other scriptures that talk about the king of Tyre, and there's such a bad translation there that it becomes, in most Bibles, as he was a cherub. And I've heard some preachers say he was sitting at the right hand of Jesus. He was the king of Tyre, an earthly human as we are, who had great power. The original scripture says he was appointed a cherub. And his situation was similar to the Garden of Eden. You go back to the Garden of Eden, the serpent, where Christians have this as Satan. The word is natash, and it's one who learns by observing, enchanted one. You go on through Job, the word is sultan. It's any person or group of people who oppose God. It was when Jesus spoke of Satan, he was the adversary. If you follow the story when you're reading the Bible, you know Jesus' adversary was the holy people, those in power in the temple, those that were a representative of God to the people. They had become so corrupt and not only punished people through the law, they made up new laws to punish people. Jesus came at the appointed time to relieve those that were oppressed, those that were under the tribulation from these oppressors. And he did, and he broke that yoke. When Paul talks about taking off the incorruptible and putting on the incorruptible, that could be considered him taking off that old covenant, that old way of belief he had, and putting on this new covenant, this new way of belief he had through Jesus Christ. Christians have taken Christianity and twisted it around. They don't understand great metaphors and language and poetic language and apocalyptic language. They take it and make it today into some kind of Harry Potter story. Turns away many, many people from becoming Christian. But I think the worst thing they ever did was implant the thought of a place called hell in the young minds of children. I guess I've rambled on, man. Peace, love, justice, understanding.